As the rest of the country is dealing with economic hardships, the residents of Elizabeth are faced with a city under siege by hardened politicians intent on political and monetary gain. Taxes in Elizabeth are the highest in the county and among the highest in the state. Yet, city residents see very little of their money at work. Our streets are littered with trash, homes lie empty and boarded up, and the city services are almost non-existent. Welcome to the city of Elizabeth. Elizabeth wasn't always this way. Once known as Proud Lady Elizabeth, has a rich history going back over 300 years. In 1668, Elizabeth became the first capital of New Jersey. The first governor was Philip Carteret, whose cousin, Lady Elizabeth Carteret, the town had been named after. The town grew in prominence, and Boxwood Hall, located on East Jersey Street, served as home to the President of the Continental Congress and one of the original signers of the Constitution. Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr both attended the old academy, which still stands today on Broad Street. Through the years, Elizabeth continued to grow, becoming the city that boasted a beautiful city hall and the county seat and courthouse. Education thrived, as evidenced by the picture of the students and faculty of George Washington School No. 1. Patriotic sentiments were always freely expressed, and displayed of national pride like the parade down Broad Street were often seen. Elizabeth even took pride in having its own newspaper, the Daily Journal, founded during the American Revolution, operated until the mid-1990s. Many businesses and industries have called Elizabeth home. Most notable, the Giant Singer's sewing machine factory and the Moore Iron Works. Elizabeth residents also had access to transportation with its own railroad station, which still stands today and acts as a hub for travelers to Newark Airport and New York City. Elizabeth of the yesteryear also had theaters and vaudeville houses and many social clubs and athletic clubs and cultural societies established by the many immigrant groups that came to call Elizabeth home. From the Italians that settled in the Peterstown section to the Irish and German communities. Our city has valued the education of our children, making schools a priority and even building 3 branches of public library. And until very recently, Elizabeth had not 1 but 3 hospitals to care for the sick. St. Elizabeth, known as Trinitas, Alexian Brothers, and Elizabeth General. The port section of Elizabeth was a busy place where manufacturing and transport of goods took place on a daily basis, and large manufacturing plants provided hundreds and hundreds of jobs for city residents. Sadly, times have changed in our town. Quality of life in Elizabeth has been on a steady downward track. Signs of neglect are everywhere, and while our property taxes climb, city services go down. It is a place where decisions are made that concern all of the residents of our city, and in the past few years, their decisions have been dead wrong. Let's start with taxes. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at John Doe's tax record in 1996. Their property tax was $933 quarterly. That is $3,764 a year. And in 2010, the taxes are $2,009 quarterly, which comes out to $8,036 a year. That is an increase of over 100% in 14 years. Well, you might think 14 years is a long time, but the Star Ledger reported the increase in taxes started in 2001 and has steadily gone up every year since. So the question we the citizens should be asking ourselves is why? What has your tax dollars brought you? Where has it gone? Now back to our example. What does 100% increase on your taxes mean? Let's do some simple math. $8,036. Let's divide that by 12. That's $669 a month. Now, if we only had to pay half of that, that would be $334. That's what your family could have saved. I hope this sheds light on what a tax increase means for your family. No, everybody's property tax is different, but one thing is common, and that is the city of Elizabeth is overtaxed. Let's see how we compare to other cities when it comes to taxes. It is a shame Elizabeth ranks number 1. It's not enough that we overpay on our property taxes. City council members last year decided to vote for their own raises on their salary. While many of us are struggling to keep our jobs and make ends meet in this troubled economy, City Council decided it deserved to put more money in their collective pockets. City Hall is no longer a place where residents can look to for fair representation of our best interests. 8 out of the 9 of our City Council members are under the tight control of master political boss Ray Lesniak. By financing each one of their campaigns, he holds the entire city in his grip. How can this be? These same 8 city council members controlled by Senator Lesniak are the ones that voted to give a huge tax abatement to giant corporations like IKEA and the Jersey Gardens Mall. These 2 giant retail spaces pay no taxes to our city, thanks to the giveaway set up by their high-priced, high-powered attorney. Who is this, you might ask? If you answered political boss Ray Lesniak, you are correct. He set up a sweetheart deal and then his city council voted it into existence. All on the backs of you, the taxpayer. Tax abatement is the allowing of businesses to not pay taxes. Is that fair to you? IKEA has recently signed a 25-year deal where they get to pay 0 in taxes. See, corporations owe a responsibility to its shareholders. Their interest is solely in making a profit, not serving you or a community. Privatization. Let's talk about privatization. Privatization is the selling out of city services to corporations. In Elizabeth, we experienced this with the selling of our water company. This is dangerous because the effects are felt by the citizen and are usually the same. Citizens' jobs are lost. The cost and rates go up. The quality of service suffers. The real problem is that there is no accountability when something goes wrong. When it's a public system, there is true transparency in terms of cost. That is what keeps the price of operations down. Complaining to a corporation isn't the same as talking to an elected official, somebody that has to answer to you. Our water has been sold out.